Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. This is the Choppin' It Up Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. I'm your official Marching Podcast announcer, David Thompson, and here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Good evening and welcome to Choppin' It Up. I am your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. Today is September 3rd, 2013, 6 o'clock on the West Coast and 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening live and or all those listening in podcast form, whether through iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, or through our website. At the end of this broadcast, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network if you feel so in your heart, of course. Simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. We welcome the month of September to our network, and there are lots of things to celebrate in this month. It is the month where both of my grandmothers were born, and rest in peace to both of them. It is the month that my son was born just last year in 2012. Lots of friends, close friends, and relatives that have the same birthday month in September. And we're also happy to say that it is the birthday month for our blog, the Marching Blogcast. The Marching Blogcast, you can get to it by typing in the Marching Podcast, blog, the number 4.themarchingpodcast.com. That's blog, the number 4.themarchingpodcast.com. The blog was the first installation of giving back to the world. And I'm happy to say that it's going well, and it's been a great way to document everything that I'm doing here for the Marching Podcast Network and also for legal purposes. You know, if I have an idea or if I have something that I want to put in motion, you know, I can release it through my blog, and all those things as far as legal complications or legal ramifications can qualify themselves while you have it there documented on the internet. And then once you have everything, like we are registered as an official business of the state of California, it protects us. And it also gives me something to look back on, gives me a step-by-step and how I was crawling before I walked, or how we actually started this thing. So please check out blog, the number 4.themarchingpodcast.com, and you should see on the right side, you can enter your email address and hit the follow button. When you do this, you'll become an official follower of the blog, and every time that I send out a release, you will get an email with that release inside of it. Really good way to keep up with the show and keep up with all the things and the visions that we have for the network. So in the celebration of this month, and that will be September the 11th, with the celebration of this month, we will chop it up every week this month, similar to how we did in things in May. This past year. May is also our Blog Talk Radio anniversary. So what we'll do is we'll chop it up tonight with my good close friend, D'Anthony Smotherman. D'Anthony and I met in high school. We were on the basketball team together, and we were also on the Missouri Class 2A State Championship 1995 and 96, respectively, teams. Really good friend, for fellow fraternity brother. D went on, similar to me, and attending a historically black college after we left high school. He went somewhere in the great SWAC conference, and I'll go ahead and say what school that is for the interview. And he's doing really well today, and just recently started a new job out in Georgia. So, you know, he's developing his career, and really proud of him. So a lot of the things that we'll be talking about tonight are not 100% current because D'Anthony is out in Georgia now, but definitely something that you know, we wanted to hear about his background and all the ways that he is developing now into a mentor for young kids. So we're really excited about that. and wanted to hear from him tonight. So this will be a podcast, but we still will accept your calls at 718-664-6025. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com, tweet us at marchingpodcast, or follow our blog, blog4.themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take this time now to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, Block Band Music, bandhead.org, and Big Deal Fundraising. Let's take the time to hear from them now.
Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. And coming this fall, HBCUbands.com. Write that down, HBCUbands.com. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players and auxiliary in shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556.
Okay, we're back, and we're ready to chop it up now with D'Anthony. Again, if you would like to call in at the end of the interview and express yourself about D'Anthony, you can go to the number on your screen at 718-664-6025, and we'll take those calls after playing the interview. So now, without further ado, let's chop it up with D'Anthony Smotherman. You're now in the Marching Podcast, and we're here now with D'Anthony Smotherman. What's going on today, D'Anthony?
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
I'm doing pretty good. I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you being on the network today. We are talking to the head coach of the Normandy High School track squad. Are you boys and girls, D'Anthony?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm boys and girls head track coach and cross country coach.
Okay, well, that's outstanding. D'Anthony was, not going to front, he was the star of our track team. I ran track my junior and senior years at Lutheran North, and D'Anthony was a four-year runner. I think he ran cross country all 4 years too, but D'Anthony was quite talented. He was like our Jordan or our Kobe, or LeBron, as they say, winning back-to-back state championships, and they won it the year after we left in '97, I believe, when D'Anthony's little brother was there on the team. So there's a lot of tradition in D'Anthony's family with track, but we really appreciated him being on to talk, give a good positive role model to our community out there. So let's get right into it. D'Anthony, where are you from?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. Now, are you born and raised there?
I was actually born in Georgia, but and then was here, lived in St. Louis. So I claim St. Louis as my hometown.
Okay, that's what's up. And are your folks? Where are your folks from?
My mother is from Columbus, Georgia, and my father is from right here in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, that's outstanding. And just get it out there, your father is a member of fraternity, isn't he?
This is correct. He's a proud member of Omega Psi Phi.
Okay, and D'Anthony, are you a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity as well?
I am. I'm a member of the greatest fraternity there is, Omega Psi Phi Incorporated. Also, my younger brother, is a part of Omega Psi Phi also.
That's outstanding. That was my next question. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else in the family was the bros? But that's outstanding. So, you guys are definitely, doing your thing out here. And I was really excited. We're all grown now and everything to talk to you. So, you're from St. Louis and your parents are, from those different areas. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Lutheran High School North.
Okay, it's a pretty good high school. I attended there myself, along with some other people that the podcast is going to have. We have some really good people in our class, to tell the truth. Really good people doing really good things out there as adults. So we'll be hearing from our more people in our class. And in high school, D'Anthony, growing up in St. Louis, what exposure did you have to the show style marching band?
Not as much, but because of my parents going to a black university, I started getting more exposure that way to marching bands. Then a couple of friends of mine was always in the band. Namely, you got me exposed to more of the marching procedure and bands also, since you was in there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know I was the only one, but definitely, that's really why I asked the question, because, St. Louis is not, it's not prevalent when you talk about bands, So you're in high school. We talked a little bit about the high school career. We outstanding track athlete. Back-to-back state champions, that's 95 and 96. You were the 800-meter champion in 95, 96, correct?
Correct.
That's right. And our friend Byron Michaud was the 100-meter champion in 96, and Joe Beard was the triple jump champion in 96. Just an outstanding class, let me tell you. But, yeah, we had a good time in high school, man. We really did. But you later went on to college. Where did you pick to go to school, and why did you pick that school?
I later went on to Grambling State University. And the funny thing about it is Grambling wasn't my first choice. For some odd reason, I always wanted to try to get back to where my mother was from, down in Georgia. So I always wanted to attend Georgia Tech. That was like my long time goal.
I remember.
And what happened is it came down to three of us. The coaches ended up getting their first two choices. And then so that kind of left me in the back end. And then ended up getting a phone call middle of June from Morehouse. So then I was like, okay, I couldn't make Georgia Tech, so, I'll still be in the Atlanta area and attend Morehouse. Well, coach called, offered me about $8,000 for a scholarship. And then, so I ended up going to take out finance trade and so forth, and then I was going to register for my classes, even got in, took my picture and sent down to the yearbook. So I'm in the freshman yearbook and everything. And then I'm going to say it had to be about the third week in July, I get a phone call, and it was the coach from Grambling State University who said he saw me at one of my summer track meets that summer and said he's willing to give me a full ride to Grambling State. So initially, full ride, $8,000. I mean, I didn't have my parents have to pay for anything, so I decided to bag off from Morehouse and go down to Grambling State.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. A lot of, people pick one school and they think they're going to go there, and then, something else happens. You talk about your summer track performance. You talk about the track club that you were a part of and how that kind of helped round your track career.
I was part of a St. Louis track team called the St. Louis Blues, and I was with them ever since I was 8 years old. And I must admit that they did help me perfect, I guess you want to say, my skills and running abilities throughout the years, because it was like an extension for me to do over the summer to harness my skills for track while I was younger, and then also when I got to high school. So it was like an extended season. And also that with that, it helped me kind of develop a sense of character and I guess friends also, networking that way. I developed and made a lot of friends that way during the summer that I do during the regular school year, grade school or high school. And it just gave me a different, I guess, making me a roundabout person to see people in different lights and nature on the other side, too, of them.
That's a really good point, man, because, I didn't compete in any events, but I practiced with the track club, I think 2 summers, or one or two. But I do remember, not meeting a lot of people, and I also remember knowing a lot of people, and a lot of us, that hung together. And the guys I'm talking about, we were exposed to a lot more things in the city just because we knew people through you, and then you knew them through the summer track club. You were also part of Jack and Jill, something we want to talk about on the podcast at a later time. But it's just that interaction, and I hope the young people out there understand, being a part of the different social clubs and groups, you get to meet, and just like you said, you were exposed to all those different people. It socially helped you, and then, it helped your skills as well. I even felt a different confidence that I felt that, helped me win my senior year, because I actually practiced and I was around the best athletes in the city at track, So it's definitely beneficial, and I'm glad that you exposed me to that. So you're in college and running for Grambling. How was running in the SWAC conference, running track in the SWAC conference?
Man, Joe, let me tell you, it was different. I always see it on TV, track meets from college and stuff, but when you actually get in there and see somebody that you've seen on TV or hear about, it's a big thing. Like I said, it's that exposure thing. I've never been around athletes from so many different countries, different states, hearing about how they were national champs here, state champs there, and it's like a collection of champions coming together. And then, like I said, that whole SWAC conference, historical black conference and colleges, like you said, that exposure, meeting different people from the islands, maybe from southern states, western states, and then also bonding that friendship, because it ended up becoming friends, even though we were competitors. But it was a sense of friendship too, because each meet, we'll see them each week, and develop a little rivalry, a friendly rivalry, but it was a good rivalry because it was all in good nature.
That's cool, man. That's cool. What was your major when you were there at Grambling?
My major was electronic engineering technology, and I had a minor in math.
Okay. Did you have aspirations in that field?
I did. I wanted to be really wanted to go work for a company called. I wanted to go work for Boeing back home in St. Louis, or a company down in Texas, actually Dallas, Texas, called Lockheed Martin.
Oh, okay. Okay. And we all finished, and you finished up your degree. Now, definitely, I'm sure that we could say this rolled into your calling, but how did you become a track coach?
Oh, I always say once I always had a dream that I wanted to go to the Olympics, and I didn't fall short on it. I just didn't really put my effort in after my collegiate year to see fit to it. But I didn't want to lose what I had or the knowledge I had. So I wanted to give back, so to speak. I wanted to coach, give back to the young kids and show them and try to show them there's another way, but be another supplement to help them get to another school as far as just grades, have a backup also, maybe a track scholarship. So I wanted to show them and help them and teach kids who like track to try to show them how to harness what they have to maybe later do something big with that.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Now, did you start out at Normandy when you first got back home?
I did, actually. The funny thing about it, it was a guy there at first named Preston Thomas, and he was at the time the head basketball coach at Cardinal Ritter, who was our rival in high school for basketball, and coincidentally who beat us each year in the district championship, and that went on to win state.
Yeah.
Well, I remember before I went to move to the North, I was getting heavily recruited by Preston Thomas to come to Cardinal Ritter to play basketball, and he heard about me by running track. So once I graduated from college in 2001, which was the same year that my mother retired from the county school system, he was there. And he said that he was over the track team, and he remembered that I ran track and asked me did I want to coach. And I was like, sure. That was kind of like my first job out of school. He asked me if I want to come help out with the track team in Normandy. So now that's when I started. I was assistant the first 2 years I was there, and then after that, I became head.
That's really cool, man, because I know you're a good coach. So it's really cool to hear, because I remember, you were majoring in, engineering, and I remember when you got the job, I think you posted and you said that you were the track coach. It was just like, wow, you didn't think that was going to happen, but I'm sure everybody in the world who knows you, they can see it, and they know that you're doing a good job. So that's really cool, man. I definitely would like to come back home and check out Normandy. It's funny because just for all the listeners that don't know, D'Anthony and I went to high school at Lutheran North, and it's like right down the street from Normandy. I mean, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 miles away from each other or something like that.
Not even that far, but yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a trip to see that, but it's really cool. So now you're coaching. Now, are there any obstacles? What difficulties do you see now being a track coach now in high school?
One of the biggest obstacles that I had to overcome is the generation that I'm dealing with. I always figured we had to revert to what the kids are now as opposed to when we was growing up. Our generation was a lot different. It was more people were more focused on what sports they want to do. If you was a football player, you did football. Track.
Yeah.
Basketball. Nowadays, with all these different sports coming around, kids are being spread left and right, choices here and there. You got coaches giving kids ultimatums about if they don't do this sport, they can't participate. They can't do another sport, which is kind of frustrating as a coach, especially on my behalf, who I participate in 3 sports, and I never had a problem with kids doing all 3, but trying to get other coaches aboard and say, hey, between the months of March and May, let me have this kid and work with him. And once I finish with him, I'm sure what I do with him will benefit to your sport,
right,
which is maybe coming up in August and so forth. Instead of snatching him in the middle of the season just because he has to do a spring this or spring conditioning. So that's one of the difficulties of obstacles, I would say, trying to overcome, I guess, the whole sharing a kid and trying to get coaches on the same page as I am at school.
Wow, that's
and then not also, I guess I say with these kids, these kids are different from like us back in the day. These kids are many more structured. Most of them look at me as pretty much a father figure, role model. Some of these kids, guys and girls, don't have male figures in their lives. So that was another thing. Having them latch on and believing in the philosophy that I have that, hey, if you listen to me and do it this way, then this results you get. And it's like the old saying of, I guess, Remember the Titans. As Denzel says, it's like Novocaine, give it time and work. So they watch and see the process that I take them through, and they get the results. I've been to state the last 8 years. I haven't missed a state track meet. I have sent 32 kids off in my 8 years off to between junior college and Division I schools with scholarships. So that helps in the process also.
You know, that actually rolls into my next question to you. That's something that is actually I've never asked you about. You know, we've been talking at our leisure, but how is the recruiting process? Like, do people just contact you if they're interested? Do you know who's like showing up at your track meets? Like, because I know, like you said, like you're helping these kids find colleges. Like, could you talk about that process?
As a coach, sometimes coaches do call me requiring about a kid. They do be at some track meets. Now, do I know they're there? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Because I tend to want my kids to know they're recruiters there, because I don't want that pressure on them and all they need to perform. Because you want the kid to be more relaxed and so forth at a track meet. But as far as the process is concerned, what I do is, especially with my way as juniors, I have them go ahead and start taking ACT at early to get a score. They give me a list of 5 colleges with their top 3, and then what happens is I start contacting these coaches, letting them know, hey, I have a kid who's interested. He's whatever specialist he's in, whether it's jumps, sprint, middle distance. I start looking at their roster, who they have, what teams they have leaving, and then I ask the coaches, tell them about them, say, how can my kid fit into your program? And then we kind of have this dialogue back and forth, and then what happens is I'll give them the kid's name and number, and then that way they can start contacting them too. So the process is sometimes pretty strenuous because, you're going back and forth trying to find schools and want these kids to go out. So it gets kind of hard, especially when you get to crunch time. When it comes down, when they get ready to graduate, they still don't know what school they are, how much money they can have. But like I tell the kids, sometimes with track being so late in the school year, most scholarships don't come to the middle of June, early part of July. So I tell them not to stress so much, but it'll happen. You got to give it time.
So is that process stressful for you as a coach? Do you ever feel any pressure, like, oh man, I'm really trying to help this kid get somewhere, and do you ever feel like you could ever make a mistake?
At times it has, and that's just part of the learning process as a coach. Okay. Because what happens is when I build these relationships with these kids, and I know they're good kids, I hate for them to get. I want to see go prosper a lot more than what they are doing. Right. A lot of our kids that I deal with, I want them to leave out of St. Louis, pretty much Missouri, and experience what college is about. Because most of the kids that stay around the same life, same atmosphere, it's not good for them. So yes, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make it my duty to try to get them out. And sometimes it works. Sometimes I get so upset that it hurts me when I don't get it there. So I kind of put a lot of pressure on me, and sometimes it gets stressful depending on the situation at hand.
I heard that, man. We're getting close to the end of the interview, and I really appreciate your time. About, I guess, like the student's mindset, like how do you keep their mind focused on education versus, I guess, running in the Olympics or getting that, signing that pro deal, you know, where they're getting so much money? Because I know that it's on their mind. You know, I was into music and stuff, but, you know, I played a little basketball, you know, a little track back in my day, and I always thought, you know, hey, like, you know, I want to go to the pros too. Is there a balance that you have to give them? You know, how do you keep their mind focused on their education?
I'm gonna say it's real. I guess I show them by leadership, maybe. I always tell them. I tell the kids, and it's the motto. When we have our meetings, I always tell them. I always look for a student athlete, not an athletic student. And that's the model we go by up there. I said most schools that want to recruit you, they can go out and find the same person somewhere else that's running the same times you run it. But the thing that's going to take you over the edge is that GPA that you have.
Oh.
Because you don't want to fall back on athletics as your only support. Graduation and education is a big thing for me. Without it, because I guess sports can be taken from you anytime, and the kids seem to follow suit. Like I said, I guess because of the years past and see what the kids I deal with, and the kids keep coming back up there who graduated and tell them, hey, you know, listen to coach. He knows what he's talking about. And so it just kind of just one of the things. Like, I guess it's that relationship thing, like I spoke of before. Building that relationship with the kids, and they understand that education is first. Education takes you so far, especially by me being where I'm at. Like I tell them, I'm a teacher. So I'm right there. I understand what needs to go first. And then sports is just like a supplement or a bonus.
Exactly. Right quick, what has been your most memorable experience being the track coach there at Normandy?
I would have to say that being the first coach, the first African American to win the mile, the 2 mile, and the 800 in the state of Missouri.
Wow, that's what's up, D. Who was that?
It was a young man by the name of Darwin Price. Like you said, he became the first Missouri African-American in the history of Missouri state track meet to ever win the mile, the 2 mile, and 8 in one meet. He also scored 34 points that year, which he scored by himself and ended up placing as a team by himself.
Wow.
Finishing 4th place overall.
Wow, that's what's up, man. That's pretty cool. It's a Smotherman project. That's pretty cool, man. Right. That's what's up, D, man. Well, I'm really proud of you, man. Do you have anything coming up for like the Norman? Like you guys just have your meets coming up this fall. Is there anything that you want to let the listeners know about?
Yeah, actually, like I said, this spring, I'm going to start this track season. This is actually my first year in my 9 years now that I will actually have a fresh group of kids, freshmen and sophomores, no returnees. And this actually might be my biggest challenge this year, to try to see what I can do and see my coaching ability to actually come in this year and see what I can do with this team. So I'm used to always having somebody coming back, or a couple of kids coming back from a year's team that kind of mold my team around. This year I actually get to do my, I guess, like I say, actually do coaching, which I like to do.
All right, man. Well, that's outstanding. This year, I guess you can follow the Normandy High School track club, track team online to see where you guys will be competing this year. What's your biggest like meet of the year, D? Like when you think about like this coming up.
I would tell my kids I like to gauge this track the track meet that's at Kirkwood.
Oh, okay.
Kirkwood is not my gauging meet where I see where my kids stand at, because we get a lot of teams from the other side of the state, which is Columbia, Just City, up there in the Kansas City area that comes down here. So then we get a little taste of what they have, and that kind of gives us a feel of where we at as far as the state before the state track meet. So that'd be the biggest meet I give my kids to. Like in the beginning of the season, I have them just make sure they're pretty much learning techniques, getting the thing under their belt, and so forth. And then as you move on, like I said, it's like a measuring stone for us to see where we stand before our big district meets come up to see what we have to do.
Outstanding, man. And last question, D, what is your advice to the young athlete or just the young person out there, who's in athletics, no matter what there's track or football or whatever, and looking forward to going to college? What advice do you have for them?
Like I tell all the kids, whatever sport you're doing, first off, make sure that that your heart is into it. For one, always give 100% in everything you do. Also, the main thing I tell my kids, have fun. If you're not having fun out there, then of course the sport's not going to be fun. And then when you see you having fun, it pays off, because when you get off to college, you'll see it's a whole different thing, a whole atmosphere. And it's fun being in sports because, like I said, you get to meet new people, and it's that exposure, just getting exposure.
I really appreciate your time, D, and definitely, like I said, you guys go out there and support Normandy High School track, and we take it back up top for the end of the interview.
All right, we're back live, and we are happy and thankful to D'Anthony for his time for the interview. Again, it was happy to catch up with him, and I still keep in contact with him now, thanks with Facebook and all of that. But just proud of him and his success. And like I said, he's teaching. He's not at Normandy anymore, but he's teaching in a school in Georgia. And we're really excited about him. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron to the Marching Podcast Network, please contact the show, and we'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We will play your commercial. We will post your website on our blog, and we will help send out information about your business through social media. Being a patron is someone who just donates to the network for an amount of time that's up to you and what's ever comfortable for you and your finances. But it's just another way to support the network and to also help with the scholarship fund and building a better network for all of us. Again, you are welcome to call in during the commercial break. We don't have that much time left for the show, but we're going to hear from our sponsors one last time before we sign off.
Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players in auxiliary and shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. And coming this fall, HBCUbands.com. Write that down, HBCUbands.com.
All right. We appreciate hearing from our sponsors, and we also appreciate the support from our sponsors that allow us to support our scholarship fund and to broadcast during these peak hours. I think that's all the time we have for the show this evening. The only other thing that I had on my mind was one of our sponsors, Tyrone Brown. We chopped it up with him last month, I believe, or a couple months ago. He's starting a new show on Blog Talk Radio as well for business and entrepreneurs. He is going to talk with people who are doing well in the business community for about conversations and spreading business acumen. And so it may be a very interesting show, but definitely he's supporting the network here, and we're also supporting him as well with what he's trying to do with his upcoming show. And now the show is How to Mind Your Own Business, and that's on Blog Talk Radio. I believe it's going to be coming on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely check that out. I know we'll be at least playing some of the commercials for the Marching Podcast Network to help with some of our listeners over there deep in the East Coast, deep up in the New York tri-state area. So it'll definitely help out with that. But definitely check out Tyrone Brown and his new show, business podcast, How to Mind Our Own Business. So that looks like we're going to end the show. We again want to thank D'Anthony Smotherman, good friend of mine, for his time. Check out our website and donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. See you next time.